Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Start with the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. So today we will talk about the anti-tubercular drug. So this is another topic which I am going to present. That is anti-tubercular drugs. Anti-tubercular, this is the core subject use. So you can see it the core subject use, and we will have to cover. Discuss the characteristics of anti-tubercular drugs, mechanism of action of anti-tubercular drugs, its indication and contraindication. Discuss the primary and secondary management of tuberculosis, anti-tubercular drug, and describe the rationale for multiple drug therapy in the treatment of TB or anti-tubercular therapy. Discuss the appropriate nursing implication for client receiving anti-tuberculin therapy. And you should also calculate the drug dosage accurately while administering oral and parenteral medication. First of all, so come toward the basic introduction of tuberculosis. As we know that tuberculosis is a bacterial disease which is caused by a bacterium that is called Mycobacterium, and Mycobacterium was for the first time discovered by Robert Koch in 1882. Tuberculosis, in another word, it is a chronic granulomatous disease and a major health problem in developing countries. About 1/3 of the population, world population, is infected with Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacteria have caused epidemic diseases, tuberculosis, and leprosy have terrorized humankind since antiquity. Although the burden of leprosy is decreased and TB is still the most important infectious killer of humans. Now what is Mycobacterium? So Mycobacterium is a Greek word. Mycos refer to Mycobacterium graxiaparensis, which is due to the composition of the cell wall. More than 60% of cell wall is composed of lipid. Mainly mycolic acid is also found in certain quantity. This extraordinary shield prevents many pharmacological compounds from getting the bacterial cell membrane or inside. So another barrier is the propensity of some of the bacilli to hide inside the patient cells, thereby surrounding themselves with an extra physiochemical barrier that antimicrobial agents must cross to be effective. So in this chapter we will discuss about the different type of anti-tubercular drugs. The drug which are used in the treatment of tuberculosis, and moreover the nursing implications and its proper dose which can be administered to the patient. So classification according to their clinical utility, the anti-tubercular drugs can be divided into two groups. The first one is first line, and the second, that is second line. So the first line is these drugs have high anti-tubercular efficacy as well as low toxicity, and they are used routinely. Okay, so and second line, these drugs have either low anti-tubercular efficacy as compared to first line therapy. So there are two line therapy. One is the first line therapy, and the second, that is second line therapy. So as compared to the first line therapy, the second line therapy is low anti-tubercular efficacy or higher toxicity, or both, and they are used as a reserve drugs. After that, we will discuss about the first line drugs. First line drugs, it include isoniazid, which can be represented by a capital letter H. The second one is rifampicin, which can be represented by R. Pyrazinamide, it can be represented by Z, and ethambutol can be represented by E, and streptomycin is represented by S. Isoniazid is also called INH, and rifampicin, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, and streptomycin. The second line drugs they are in the form of ethonamides and prothionamides, cycloserines and tirazidones and pyramidosalicylic acid, rifabuteins and thiazones. And fluoroquinolones, ofloxacins, levofloxacin, moxifloxacin, ciprofloxacin. So you know, fluoroquinolones, these are the antibiotic, these are the second line drugs. But actually these drugs, they are reserve drugs. While the drugs which are available in injectable form, that is clindamycin, the second one is amikacin sulfate and cipromycins. Alternative grouping of antitubercular drugs. So in group 1, the first line oral antitubercular drug, that is isoniazid, which can be represented by symbol INH. In capital letters, rifampicins, rifampicin, pyrazinamide and ethambutol. So it belongs to group 1 and this is first line oral antitubercular drug. The second group, that is injectable antitubercular drugs, which include streptomycin, kanamycin, amikacin and capryomycins. While the third one is fluoroquinolones, so this is a group of antibiotic, so it includes eprofloxacin, ofloxacin, norfloxacin, gatiploxacin, ceftriaxone, moxifloxacin and levofloxacin. And group 4, the second line oral antitubercular drug, that is ethonamides, prothionamides, cycloserine and tirazidones, pyramidosalicylic acid, which I have already mentioned. And group 5, the drug with unclear efficacy, that is thiazones, clarithromycin and clofazimines and linezolates and amoxicillin, clavulanic acids, imipenem and clozapine. So actually these drugs, there is no clear, still its efficacy is unclear. These are the, this is called drug resistance. And drug resistance, one is monodrug resistance, so monodrug resistance, and the second one is resistance to either isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, ethambutol. So, and drug resistance, there may be a chance of polydrug resistance, multiple drug resistance, and XDR, and you can say the XDR tuberculosis, resistance to other agents like pyrazinamide, ethambutol, and many and more. Resistance to as I have already mentioned in my previous look at here, isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, ethambutol and streptomycin. So the same category that is given here, which can be represented by different symbols. So resistance to pyrazinamide, ethambutols, rifampicins and many more. While resistance to H plus RN, resistance to you can say injectables and fluoroquinolones, while pyrazinamide and ethambutols. Drug acting on rapidly dividing bacilli, so that is isoniazid, which can be represented by symbol HN plus rifampicin, can be represented by symbol R, and pyrazinamide, that can be represented by letter Z, and ethambutol and streptomycin. A drug acting on slowly dividing bacilli, so that is rifampicin and pyrazinamides. Drug acting on dormant bacilli, so that is not given. Okay, so now come to our a drug that is called isoniazids or isonicotinic acid hydroxides. This drug is antitubercular drug, and it comes under the category of first line therapy of antitubercular agent. Isoniazid is also called isonicotinic acid or hydroxides. It is primarily used in the treatment of tuberculosis. This drug is tuberculocidals. The mechanism of action of isoniazid. So isoniazid is responsible to inhibit the production, the synthesis of mycolic acid, and these mycolic acids, which are essential for the components of mycobacterial cells wall. Isoniazid is a prodrug that is activated by the CATG and Mycobacterium catalase peroxidase. These are the name of the enzymes which are responsible for the activations of these mycobacteriums. So after giving isoniazid, so it can directly inhibit or stop the growth of mycolic acid, which is essential components of mycobacteria. Now let's come to our pharmacokinetics of isoniazids. So isoniazids are isonicotinic acid that is completely absorbed orally and penetrate all the body tissue, tubercular cavities, placenta and meninges. It is extensively metabolized in the liver, an important pathway being N-acetylation. Inshallah, in my next lecture I will explain about the metabolic pathway, that how the isoniazid they can be metabolized, so which come under the category of pharmacokinetic profile.